Did you know that someone can actually legally trademark your company name? It has actually happened more times than you would think. If you want to find out when and why you should trademark your travel business, keep on watching. That's what we're covering today. All right, guys, don't forget, take a moment, like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell right here on YouTube. We're bringing you amazing content every single week to help you grow your travel businesses, and I don't want you to miss a thing. By the way, if you're new here, type a little "I'm new" in comments so I can welcome you to our community. And if you are new, you might not know who I am. My name is Cyndi Williams. I am the CEO and founder of Wanderlust Campus. We are the training department for the travel industry at large, and I am an industry veteran, guys. I've been doing this 30 years, 3 decades for a minute. So everything we bring you here on the channel is advice from my heart to yours on how to grow and scale your travel businesses. And today we are talking about such a relevant topic. I personally hold over 20 trademarks. So I have a lot of experience in this department, but I am not an attorney. So I always want to recommend that you check with your own attorney as you go through this process to really make these decisions. But today I'm going to just kind of give you some really good insights based on my experience, and also because we help thousands of travel entrepreneurs get certified within the travel industry every single year. It's really important, and we've seen lots of things pop up in the industry that you should be aware of. So we're going to jump right into it today. Before we get into the content, the team has asked me to remind you guys, last call on our Wander Beyond retreat. We only have a handful of seats left. Guys, we're going to be together in October, right around the corner, for our annual big retreat. This is where we come together in person to give you all of the relevant, up-to-date information that you need to know for your travel businesses. But also, unlike every other travel conference that's out there in the industry, this is all about your growth, and it's really customized and catered to you. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, visit us over at wanderlustceo.com. If you don't already have your free Wanderlust Campus account, that's where you want to go, wanderlust-ceo.com. Get your free account. All of the Wander Beyond information will be available inside Wanderlust Campus. It is an exclusive ticketed event, so you can find all of the info there, and you can get all of the free resources and the free training that we have in there for you too. This YouTube stuff is amazing. It's fun, and I love doing YouTube, but the really good stuff is inside Wanderlust Campus, and you guys can get a free account. I'll link all that stuff down below. All right, so let's jump right into this week's topic, trademarking. So here's the reality of the situation in the travel industry, guys. The industry is growing fast, and that's a positive thing. But here's the deal. Just at Wanderlust Campus, we are certifying certified and training thousands of travel professionals every single year. If every single one of those travel professionals is launching their own brand, and that's just through our network, right? There are lots of travel businesses being launched. It's a very robust industry. It is a billion with a B dollar kind of industry, multi-billion-dollar industry if you look at it on a worldwide scale. So there are lots of travel businesses emerging, lots of people wanting to have their own brand, build their own brand. Not everybody's working for a agency anymore. You're working from home, doing your thing. Whatever your setup is, we have lots of other videos on that. But the reality is that the names are being snapped up left and right. All the obvious names are going to be gone, but when you find that perfect name, the one that you think is just meant for you, and you want to kind of lock it down, it can be a challenge. And let me also walk you through this. You might not know this. You can actually legally claim the name in your state, because all your state will check for is anyone using this LLC or using this name within the state of Texas or Florida or Oregon or Michigan or wherever you're from. That's all they check. They don't check trademarking. So you might think, wow, I got my name. It's available in my state. I'm going to move forward and I'm going to use this name. You proceed and you think, wow, this is great. You set up your brand, you invest in a website, you buy creatives, you have someone design a logo, you do all the things that happen during startup process, right? And then about 6 months down the road, you get a letter and it says, hey, we own the trademark on this name or a version of that name. and you must immediately remove it. You must take it down, change it within 30 days. I mean, how would that make you feel? Just devastated, knowing what you invested money-wise, knowing you had put all this effort into it, you picked your name, and they were the ones that just they got to the trademarking office before you did. So it can be a very challenging environment. So once you do find that name, and listen, I know some of you are out there like, oh, but my attorney said I have common law rights. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the video as well. And I have a story time to share with you from my own personal experience. And yes, common law rights are a thing. However, I will share with you exactly how that could go wrong as well. But what trademarking actually does, I want to make sure you guys are clear on that. So the first thing is a registered trademark gives you exclusive rights to your business name, logo, or slogan, or in the industry, right? And you can trademark a logo, you can trademark a name, you can trademark things different ways, but it gives you that exclusive right. It protects against copycats. It can protect against business theft, people trying to emulate or copy your company. It can even prevent other travel agents from using similar names. And I will give you an experience of this. Because we own the trademark on Tripsy Travel, that is my agency side of the business, there have been people that have said, oh, I'm going to be Tripsy Travel Co. I'm going to be Tripsy Travel Group. I'm going to be Tripsy and Associates. There's been a million of them that have popped up trying to use Tripsy. But because I own the trademark on Tripsy, anytime one of those pops up, unfortunately, they get a letter from my attorney that says, whoo, you are in violation of trademark rights. You have X amount of time to take this down immediately. So changing one part of the name, we even had one that was like, they said, well, we'll change the name to TRIPZEE and we'll spell it differently. And we're like, no, that's still a violation because it could be confused, right? So, and then the point being is, of course, there's two sides of the table. You don't want to be the recipient of a letter like that, but because my brand is important to me, I have put in significant time, energy, marketing dollars, all of the things to create my brand. That trademark is what protects it, right? So if something pops up that is within that sphere that could be customer confusion or is in violation of trademark, it's really easy for me to just issue that letter. And if they go see an attorney's be like, yeah, don't mess with a trademark, shut it down, pick a different name. You don't want to go that route. So I have that big hammer behind where I'm protected, right? But if you don't have that, it can be really tough to enforce. But what a trademark will do if you do have it is it is very enforceable in court. And it's really the only way to stop infringers across lines and online, right? Because trademarks will expand past your state. They can depend on where you serve and things like that. But it's normally like the entire U.S., if not the entire world, depending on how the trademarking is set up. So really, really important for you guys to have that if you want to protect your name. So also having an LLC domain is not the same as owning your brand. Trademarks make it legally yours. So you might say, well, Cyndi, I have an LLC. I'm good. No, you're not, because someone could come in and say, well, I'm in this state. Yeah, you have a Tripsy in Texas, but I have a Tripsy in New York. That's totally different. If neither one of you have trademarks, then it goes to, okay, well, who was established first? And it can get really messy. So this is going to bring me to my next story, which is common law rights. So before we were trademarked, I felt like we had pretty good common law protections. And at the time, there weren't like thousands of people launching travel brands and things like that. My attorney said, well, yeah, you probably could wait on it because you're very established. Like you have a YouTube channel, you have all these assets, you're serving these clients, you can show that you've been in business all these years. So we had a pretty good claim for common law. Now, until we had that first one that was like, I'm going to use your company name, and our trademark was not started yet. So we did have to pursue them and say, no, this is common law rights. And we did eventually shut them down, but not before it cost me $7,000 in legal fees. And just to preface that, to trademark, it's going to cost you somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000 to get a trademark for your business. So I would have saved so much money had I done the steps and proactively got the trademark, but was trying to say, and yeah, I did have the rights and I was able to shut them down, but I didn't want it to cost me $7,000 every time I had to go through this in the future. And it was also not a very fun process. I don't want to, I feel bad that this person, they thought they had the best name ever and they thought they were they're investing their own money, time, and energy into a brand that they think they can use. And then they're like, oh, wait, someone else is using it. And I didn't have the trademark. So they tried to fight it back and forth. But we're like, no, we've been around for like a decade longer than when you started, right? So I had that poor experience, and that's what really started my journey on trademarking. And from that point on, I trademark everything. I trademark my logos. I trademark my brand names. We even, when you go through our certification programs at Wanderlust Campus, that's why they're one of the strongest certifications in the industry, is because all of my titles for my programs are trademarked. What that means is if you become a certified travel professional through Wanderlust Campus, you can call yourself a certified travel professional. It has a registered mark. No one else can use that unless they go through Wanderlust Campus. Same as certified travel agency. You have to go through our agency owner program in order to earn that trademark title that I can then allow my clients to use. So all that to say is, I have over 20 things trademarked, so I have been through this process several times. But with common law copyright, it's basically when you are kind of like set up, you're operating, it has some protections, but it's really limited, and it can even be limited to kind of a geographic area, and you have to prove that you were first. So that goes back to, how do you prove it? Their attorney has to talk to your attorney, and you have to figure out who kind of had it first. And I've seen a lot of those too, I've heard about them in industry stories where they both started around the same time, and one of them eventually has to change, and they have to come to some sort of legal agreement, but normally one of them has to change, especially once that trademarking process is started. So a federal trademark gives you nationwide protection and puts your business in a searchable legal database. So one of the things is we give our students, we give them that link and we're like, check here first, XYZ, to make sure your name's not taken. And so you can see, and people can immediately see if you're thinking about a name, you may want to go there first and see if it's trademarked. That would be a great place to start. But common law protection, think of that as like kind of a handshake, like, yeah, maybe you can keep this, but a registered trademark is a locked contract with the government. The government says you are the only one allowed to use this name or logo or title, whatever the thing is that you're trademarking, right? And that's like ironclad. So when someone gets that letter, if they're going to consult with their attorney, they're going to search the database and go, yeah, no, sorry, friend, she's got it trademarked. You cannot use any variation of that name, and I don't recommend. And also you have to shut down the use of the name if you're using it within 30 days. And just this year, guys, to give you an example, because the industry has more names, we have had to shut down 4 different other people that tried to use a variation of Tripsy Travel out there in the world. So, and I don't feel good about that. I don't want to hurt people's, it's tough, right? Because I can't share my name. Like, I have too many decades invested in my business, but the reality is that is our name and we protected it. So when they pop up, sometimes they're surprised or they try to negotiate with us, but it's a no negotiation type situation. I had paid a lot of money, a lot of energy, all those things. And so that's why we have to do it. But we've had 4 just this year that we had to get shut down. So, but it's an easier process now. It doesn't cost me like $7,000 to do it. We send a courtesy letter. We're kind of like, hey, the next letter is going to be from my attorney. Please consult with yours. Here's kind of the process we have to go through. And normally people understand once they realize what trademarking is, and they're like, oh no. And then they realize they made kind of a novice mistake in the industry, which, hey, we've all been there, here nor there. Reality is, if you have a brand that you love and you don't have any plans to change your name, should you trademark your name? Yes, you should do that sooner rather than later. And look, I know startup costs can be expensive. I want to remind everyone that for our students, you can get a discount on trademarking. Go inside your partner portal inside Wanderlust Campus and make sure that you go to partner portal section for students, and you will find our recommendation for trademarks in there. And by the way, guys, if you are not already working with Wanderlust Campus to earn your certification, this is the type of stuff that you may not, if you didn't know this before today, this is just one of thousands of things that we train you when you go through our Careers on Vacation certification program, among how to set up your systems, how to make sure that you're compliant, how to make sure you have everything from automation, sales, service, all the things that you need. Literally thousands of things that we are teaching you to make sure that your business is protected, but also make sure your business is profitable quicker rather than later, and all the things. So if you want to talk to us about that, you can visit us at Wanderlust. Actually, go to careersonvacation.com/ready now, and you can just chat with an enrollment counselor. There's nothing to sell in that conversation. We're just trying to understand where you are in your journey, if it is a match to work together and start your certification process, which includes all of this business systems learning that we train at Wanderlust Campus. We will walk you through the best way to do that for your custom niche. And that's really important. You know, at Wanderlust Campus, this is not like a crusty old e-program that's going to sit on your hard drive. When you're in our 12-week certification, you're earning your certification at the same time that we are assisting you in setting up your business system. So it's very hands-on. You get a mentor. You get to come to live calls with me every week, and you get all of these discounts, including the trademark discount, among a ton of other discounts that you need. So it makes it really easy for you to justify the certification and the time that you're going to put in for earning your certification. But also, if you're hosting or if you're considering hosting, we have agreements because the host agencies want our students because they sell more, they produce more, they're more professional because you've been through the certification process. So you can actually earn more commission. Every trip you sell, you can earn more commission if you are working with one of our vetted hosts. So lots of information over at travelschool.com. Read all that stuff and do all the things. But guys, if you like this video and it was helpful for you, please give it a thumbs up or leave me a little comment below if you have any questions about the trademarking process. We'll answer as many of those as we can. And guys, wherever you are in your journey, I wish you so much love, so much abundance. I'll see you guys next week. Last video, I want to encourage you to check out the other content we have here on the channel. We have amazing content at every level, no matter where you are in your travel industry journey, from aspiring to new to growing. Even our travel agency owners, look for those playlists and you can find some amazing content that's really catered just to you. And by the way, if you haven't signed up for your Wanderlust Campus free account, make sure you do that too. And you know what? I'm going to pick some videos and put them for you right here. Check those out. I'll see you next time.